Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Uzma Jafri. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 11th of June. India logs less than 100,000 COVID-19 cases for fourth day, over 3,400 deaths reported. Sri Lanka launches investigation into possible oil slick-off sinking ship. And love for peace inspires journalists to establish TV channel in Afghanistan. And now for all the details. India on Friday reported 91,702 new COVID-19 infections over the past 24 hours, taking the cases tally to 29.3 million with over 363,070 deaths so far. The central government on Friday issued fresh guidelines on COVID-19 vaccine vials to avoid vaccine wastage, as it would take over the vaccination program from the states from June 21, reversing a policy under which states were running a part of it.
India on Friday reported 91,702 new COVID-19 infections over the past 24 hours and 3,403 daily deaths from the coronavirus. The South Asian country's total COVID-19 caseload now stands at 29.3 million, while total fatalities are at 363,079 according to Health Ministry data. The central government on Friday issued fresh guidelines on COVID-19 vaccine vials to avoid vaccine wastage. The centre said the vaccinator is advised to mark date and time of opening each vial, and all open vaccine vials need to be used or discarded within 4 hours of opening, and each vaccination session should cater to at least 100 beneficiaries. The central government would take over the vaccination program from June 21, reversing a policy under which states were running a part of it. Meanwhile, as the states have slowly reopened the economy with the subsiding of the deadly second wave of coronavirus, tea gardens in India's northeastern Tripura state have also resumed activities with half strength and safety protocols. The activities resumed in both gardens for plucking and in factories for drying and packaging of leaves, bringing respite to tea estates which are predicting huge losses owing to COVID-19 related restrictions.
ওখানে পাতা নতুন পাতা তুলাইতে হইব কিন্তু আমরা একটু ওই করোনার লাগিয়া একটু সমস্যা আছে তো সমস্যা যে করোনা আছে ঠিক আছে করোনা আছে দিকে আমরা লোক কম কম দিয়া আমরা মেইনটেইন করতে আছি
Tripura has over 50 tea gardens beside hundreds of small growers and is one of the largest tea growing states of India.
Pakistan has passed a government-backed bill in the National Assembly that will provide the right of appeal to Indian death row prisoner Kulbhushan Jadhav. Experts in India have welcomed the move by Pakistan, however, expressed concern the law will be meaningless if Jadhav is not allowed a neutral legal help.
The Pakistan's National Assembly on Thursday adopted the bill to give the right of appeal to Indian national Kulbhushan Jadhav, who is on death row in the country on charges of espionage, in regard to the ruling of the ICJ International Court of Justice. India had in 2018 approached the ICJ against Pakistan for denial of consular access to Jadhav and to challenge his death sentence. In July 2019, the ICJ had directed Pakistan to allow consular access to Jadhav and effectively review his death sentence. Experts in India welcomed the move by Pakistan, however expressed concern the law will be meaningless if Jadhav is not allowed a neutral legal help.
Is a major landslide victory as far as India is concerned and for human rights in the world, because ultimately a right to appeal and the right to rule of law is something which is essential and integral to anybody's liberty.
51-year-old retired Indian Navy officer Jadhav was sentenced to death by the Pakistani military court on charges of espionage and terrorism in April 2017. India maintains that Jadhav was kidnapped by Pakistani operatives from Iran, where he had business interests.
Moving on. A massive protest was recently held by locals against frequent load shedding and water shortage in Pakistan's largest city, Karachi. The protesters blamed they receive hefty electricity bills despite regular power outages.
Scores of locals in Pakistan's financial capital, Karachi, held a massive protest recently against frequent load shedding and water shortage faced by them. The protesters raised slogans against the government, the K Electric, which supplies electricity in the city, and the Karachi Water and Sewerage Board. They blamed they receive unusually high electricity bills despite less consumption and regular power outages, and there is no one to question the suppliers.
क्योंकि इलाके में एक अरसे से गैर एलानिया लोड शेडिंग है और तकरीबन 12-12 घंटे लोड शेडिंग रहती है। रहा पानी का मसला, तो पानी के लिए गटर का पानी, सीवरेज का पानी घरों में आता है और इस बात को भी आज 3 साल हो रहे हैं, कोई सुनवाई नहीं है।
जाता है और हमारे मीटर पे हमें बहुत ज़्यादा बिल दिए जाते हैं। इतनी लाइट जा रही है, 24 घंटे से 2 से 3 घंटे लाइट देते हैं और बिल भेज देते हैं 9-10 हज़ार का। कहाँ से हम गरीब देंगे? 12,000-15,000 हमारी सैलरी है।
The protesters also raised concerns over rising inflation and blamed the government for its incompetent policies. They said the government has continued to completely ignore their pleas and the injustice meted on them.
In news from Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan authorities have taken steps to investigate a possible oil leak from the sinking MV Express Pearl ship that caught fire on May 20th, anchored off its west coast. Suspicions of an oil leak have been raised after a foreign news channel citing satellite images reported that there was a suspected oil patch around the ship. However, Coast Conservation Minister Nalaka Godaheva denied such reports.
Sri Lanka on Thursday announced an investigation into possible oil slick resulting from the submergence of a container ship MV Express Pearl. The investigation is focused on an oil patch of about 0.35 square kilometer located off the island nation's western coast where container ship is submerged. According to Colombo Page, suspicions of an oil leak have been raised after Sky News, citing satellite images, reported that there was a suspected oil patch around the ship. Coast Conservation Minister Nalaka Godaheva said local experts were asked to examine an oil patch of about 0.35 square kilometers where MV Express Pearl ran aground earlier this month. Godaheva said 5 vessels, including 2 Indian Coast Guard ships, equipped to deal with oil spills were anchored around the sinking vessel, but none reported a leakage from the submerged wreck. The express feeders, operators of the container ship Express Pearl, confirmed on Thursday that the situation on scene remains under observation with no signs of debris and no confirmed reports of fuel oil pollution as of 1800 hours Sri Lanka local time. Earlier, Minister of Environment Mahinda Amaraveera, while addressing a media briefing on Thursday, said the Criminal Investigation Department has already commenced investigations in this regard as instructed by the President, adding the damage to the environment caused by the burning of container ship will last for another 20 years. Tons of microplastic granules from the ship swamped an 80-kilometer stretch of beach, declared off limits for residents. Fishing in the area has been banned. Experts in the field have warned that it would be a huge maritime environmental disaster if oil leaks from the container ship.
Moving on to news from Nepal. The Nepal Supreme Court on Thursday issued an interim order asking the government not to implement the recently issued ordinance on citizenship. Nepal's president, on the recommendation of PM KP Sharma Oli's government, had in May issued the ordinance which allowed children of citizens by birth and children of Nepali mothers to obtain Nepali citizenship.
The Supreme Court of Nepal has issued an interim order to the government to stop the implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Ordinance, saying that it could lead to long-term implications. The court passed the order asking the government to make necessary arrangements to distribute citizenship certificates based on the Citizenship Act endorsed duly by the Parliament. All ordinances have to be passed by the Parliament within 60 days after the day on which a meeting of both houses is held, according to the Constitution. Nepal's President Bidya Devi Bhandari, on recommendation of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, had last month issued the ordinance to amend the Nepali Citizenship Act, allowing children of citizens by birth and children of Nepali mothers to obtain Nepali citizenship. The amendment was one of the demands put forth by the Mahanta Thakur Rajendra Mahato faction of the Janata Samajwadi Party Nepal, which had promised support to Oli to help him form a new government.
Threats and attacks against Afghan journalists have increased to record numbers since talks began between government and the Taliban. However, amid such trying times, a journalist in Samangan province has established a television channel to highlight social problems, the negative impacts of war in society, and create more job opportunities. A bold but meaningful move seen by many.
The love for peace and longing for peace in war-torn Afghanistan has inspired 30-year-old journalist Ismail Sadat to establish a television channel in his home province, Samangan, with the objective to highlight social problems, the negative impacts of war in society, and create more job opportunities in his hometown. Sadat, also the TV's director, established the private Simai Soul Face of Peace television channel in March.
انگیزه ای بوده که چون مردمان رستانشین بیشتر دسترسی آسان به رادیو داشتن و ما خواستیم که کارهای صوتی خود به تصویر بکشانیم و انگیزه مسئولین رادیو تلویزیون سیمای سولی است که ما بتانیم مردم به سوی حکومتداری خوب به سوی ملت سازی سوق بدهیم.
خوشبین هستم چون روز که خودم آمدم یک خانه بودم چیز را نمیفهمیدم. امروز ماشاءالله هر چیز را میفهمم، گپ زدن میتونم، هر برنامه را که به من بتین پیش بردم میتونم با کمک همکارم. دیگه خوشبین هستم دیگه همون تو که ما رسیدیم دیگران هم میرسه اگر در رسانه بیاید.
Established with a cost of $30,000 and supported by intellectual and cultural society, the Simai Soul television channel has won the supports of locals as the feedback is encouraging, said Sadat. The relatively peaceful northern Samangan province, according to Sadat, is a conservative society with the majority of its inhabitants living in rural areas who have little access to media and less awareness on development taking place in and around Afghanistan. Though Sadat's move is seen as a bold and meaningful one, it comes at a time as threats and attacks against Afghan journalists have increased to record numbers since talks began between Kabul and the Taliban, highlighting concerns about preserving freedom of expression and the media in any peace settlement.
Doctors and health workers have been at the forefront as India battles the COVID-19 pandemic. An 8 months pregnant doctor in northern Jammu and Kashmir is determined to deliver her duties by rendering treatment and counselling to her patients despite coronavirus infection fears in the valley.
Dr. Shivani, a medical officer at a community health centre in Kathua district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir, is 8 months pregnant but still continues performing her duties of serving her patients amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The 30-year-old doctor said that she did not want her baby to become the reason for not performing her duties. Doctors and health workers have been at the forefront as India battles COVID-19 pandemic, and this is just another instance of selfless dedication to the job. Although Dr. Shivani has been kept on non-COVID duties, she counsels patients who are scared of having symptoms similar to COVID-19.
But मुझे लगता है pregnancy is a blessing for a girl. और मेरे को प्रेगनेंसी को लेके कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई है ड्यूटीज़ देने में. थोड़ी बहुत तो दिक्कत सबको रहती है, बट इस सिचुएशन को देखते हुए कि इस टाइम कोविड बहुत ज़्यादा फैल गया है, वो सिचुएशन मुझे मोटिवेट करती है ड्यूटीज़ करने के लिए. तो कहीं मेरी प्रेगनेंसी कहीं इंटरफेयर नहीं कर रही मेरी ड्यूटीज़ के साथ.
Meanwhile, Indian Army soldiers are also aiding healthcare workers in conducting vaccination drive in far-flung border areas of Kashmir Valley. Since the onset of second wave of COVID-19, the Indian Army has been proactively organizing various COVID awareness campaigns in remote rural parts of Kashmir, since there is a divide of communication due to difficult connectivity and the harsh landscape of these regions.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.